Most people assume they'll live well into their late 80s, but the truth is far more sobering. Many don't even make it past 82, and it's not because of some sudden catastrophic illness. It's because of the quiet, unnoticed habits, the subtle warning signs, the mental patterns that day by day begin to strip away your strength, your clarity, and your will to keep living fully. If you're over 60, this isn't just another message, it's a wake-up call, because what you choose to do in the next 12 months could decide everything. Whether you slowly fade away or finish strong. Whether your final chapters are filled with energy and presence or quietly written in decline. And I urge you to stay with me until the very end. Because the last reason we'll uncover is the one almost no one dares to say out loud. They stop moving. Motion is life. But for far too many people, as the years go by, movement becomes optional. Something you do if you have the time, if you feel up to it, if the weather cooperates. But the body doesn't wait for your conditions, it listens, it watches, and it adapts. When you stop moving with purpose, the body doesn't just pause, it begins to shut down. Muscles shrink, bones lose their density, your balance begins to falter, circulation slows. And slowly, silently, your body starts to do exactly what you're teaching it to do. Less. It's what makes you feel alive. It's what keeps your digestion running, your joints moving freely, your brain sharp and switched on. Movement is the language your body uses to say, I still belong here, not as a bystander, but as an active, vital participant in life. So, ask yourself, when was the last time you moved not out of habit, but with intention? When was the last time you walked, not just to the kitchen, but around the block, chest lifted, stride confident, as if you still had places to be and purpose to fulfill? When did you last stretch wide, stand tall, and remind your body it was built to engage? Don't let convenience drain your vitality. Don't let comfort quietly steal your strength. Don't let stillness become your new normal. You don't need hours. Just a few minutes a day can deliver a message that matters. I'm still here. I still move. I still choose to live. Because motion is life, and real, vibrant, engaged living begins the moment you take that next step forward. And then they eat for comfort, not for fuel. There's a quiet shift that often goes unnoticed as people age. It starts subtly skipping meals because you're just not hungry, choosing softer foods because they're easier to chew, grabbing something quick because there's no one else at the table. But slowly, eating stops being about fueling the body and becomes about comforting it. Food turns into routine, a response to boredom, a way to fill silence, a source of emotional ease. And while there's nothing wrong with comfort once in a while, the danger is when it becomes your default, because after 60, your body doesn't need comfort. It needs support. The truth is, digestion changes with age. Stomach acid decreases. Gut bacteria shift. Nutrient absorption weakens, especially for protein, magnesium, B12, and vitamin D. You lose muscle faster. Store fat more easily. Your insulin response slows. So the same foods that worked for you at 30 now work against you. If you keep eating like you always have, your body doesn't just slow, it begins to quietly break down, cell by cell, from the inside out. And yet, most older adults still build meals around what's familiar: bread, pasta, mashed potatoes, crackers, cookies, processed meats, and sugary snacks, soft, sweet, salty, repetitive. Comfortable, yes, but empty. These foods spike your blood sugar. They trigger inflammation. They leave your cells underfed. You may feel full, but your body is starving for real nourishment, and that inner starvation starts to reveal itself through fatigue, joint pain, brain fog, low immunity, and slow healing. You're not just getting old. You're getting undernourished. And Here's what's rarely said. Comfort food doesn't just dull your body. It dulls your mind. Highly processed, carb-heavy meals sedate your brain. They fog your focus. They slow your energy. They trigger brain inflammation. They mess with neurotransmitters. They can even worsen symptoms of depression. That midday nap you need after a heavy lunch? That mental fog in the afternoon? That bloated, sluggish feeling you can't explain? It's not your age. It's your diet. You are not what you eat. You are what your cells can absorb. And if your cells are soaked in sugar, stripped of fiber, and missing vital nutrients, they can't repair. They can't regenerate. They can't protect your organs or keep your nervous system alert. So when you eat for comfort, you're trading vitality for survival. Your body might still be functioning, but it's not thriving. It's coasting, quietly slipping into the difference no one talks about, the difference between aging and decaying. Asterisk, so what does it really mean to eat with intention? Asterisk, it means choosing function over flavor, not always, but more often than not. It means building meals around protein lean. Meats, fish, eggs, legumes, because muscle is the currency of aging. And once you lose it, everything else begins to decline. It means prioritizing fiber-rich foods, vegetables, fruits with skin, whole grains, seeds, because your digestion needs stimulus to stay strong. It means cutting down sugar, not just for weight, but because sugar fuels inflammation and drains your energy. It means hydrating with clean water, not soda, juice, or coffee on repeat, because your cells need clarity to function well. Eating well isn't about restriction. It's about respect. Respecting what your body needs right now. Respecting your future self enough to build strength today. You don't need a complex diet. You don't need to be a health guru. You just need to be honest. Are you feeding your body or numbing it? Are you eating to stay energized, sharp, mobile? Or are you eating to pass time, soothe stress, or avoid effort? One small change matters. Swapping sugary cereal for eggs and fruit. Drinking water with lemon instead of soda. Adding greens to your plate. Skipping dessert twice a week. These quiet choices deliver a loud message. I still care. I'm still here. I still want to live well. And your body will respond with more energy, better sleep, improved mood, and clearer thinking. You don't need perfect meals. You need purposeful ones, because after 60, food is no longer just about taste. It's your medicine. It's your momentum. It's your message to every cell in your body that you are not fading. You're just getting started. Connection isn't just something nice to have. For the aging body and mind, connection is medicine. It's what keeps your nervous system balanced. It sharpens your thinking, steadies your heartbeat, and breathes life into your spirit. Yet as people grow older, their social world often begins to shrink, not abruptly, but slowly, subtly, and often without even noticing. The phone calls get fewer, the outings become rare, the gatherings get skipped, the conversations shorten, the days grow quieter, and that slow, creeping quiet turns into something dangerous: isolation. A kind of emotional silence that does more damage than most diseases ever could, because when you begin to disconnect from others, your body starts to respond, and not in a good way. Research shows that social isolation increases your risk of early death more than obesity, more than alcoholism, and yes, even more than physical inactivity. It raises cortisol, the stress hormone. It weakens your immune system. It drives inflammation. It accelerates memory loss, triggers anxiety and depression, and worsens heart health. You may still be breathing, but on a cellular level, your body starts acting like it's already checking out. And yet, this happens to so many people. Sometimes it begins with retirement. You stop seeing coworkers. Your schedule opens up, but your world contracts. Other times, its health-related mobility becomes limited, and suddenly, just leaving the house feels like too much effort, or life shifts. Friends pass, family moves, but calls slow down. And one day, you realize you've spent an entire week in silence. Not because you wanted to, but because it slowly became your new normal. But here's the truth. Loneliness is not normal. It's not just an emotional state, it's a physiological one, and it takes a very real toll on your health. What most people don't realize is that social interaction is neurological exercise. Every time you truly engage with another person, your brain lights up. You process language. You recall memories. You interpret expressions. You mirror emotion. You dance through the rhythm of conversation. It's not passive, it's active. It's stimulating. It's vital. Laughter releases dopamine. Listening triggers empathy. Physical touch lowers blood pressure and stabilizes the heart. These are not small details. These are the hidden regulators of your entire internal system. And when they disappear, the body begins to retreat not just from others, but from life itself. That's why proximity isn't enough. You need meaningful interaction, real connection. The kind that reminds you still belong here, that your story still matters, that someone sees you, and that you still see them. It can be as simple as a phone call, a coffee catch-up, a walk with a neighbor, volunteering once a week, joining a group, a class, a gathering, even if it's small. These are not luxuries. They are non-negotiable because when you are seen, when you are heard, when you are needed, your biology changes. You stand taller, you think clearer, you feel younger. Your cells remember how to live, but the opposite is also true. When you stop reaching out, and perhaps more importantly, when you stop letting others in, the decline is faster than anyone expects. It starts as simple forgetfulness. Then your sleep worsens. Your motivation slips. You stop caring how you look, how you move, what you eat. You begin to fade not because your body gave out, but because your connection to life unraveled. Because often, it's not the heart that goes first, it's the will to stay connected. Yes. The world feels different now. Faster, louder, more digital. People scroll instead of speak. It feels disconnected, but that's exactly why you must stay in it. You don't have to chase trends. You don't need to master technology. You just need to stay human. Stay present. Be the one who makes the first move. Call your children. Message that old friend. Start a game night. Attend the community event, even if it feels awkward at first. Because the longer you stay engaged, the longer your body stays alive. And yes, it takes courage. It's easier to withdraw. Easier to stay home. To say, I'm fine, and settle into solitude. But if you want to protect your memory, your mood, your health, you need people. Not crowds, just a few. A few who bring light into your life, who challenge you, who see you, who remind you still matter. You don't outgrow the need for connection. You grow into a deeper one. So ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you reached out without waiting to be contacted first? When was the last time you had a face-to-face conversation that left you smiling, reflecting, remembering? When was the last time someone hugged you, really hugged you, and your nervous system finally exhaled? These moments are not extras. Connection isn't extra. It's fuel. It's part of your longevity strategy, whether you realize it or not. Because here's the truth. The moment you stop participating in life, your body starts preparing to leave it. But the moment you choose to engage again, to show up, connect, and live with presence, everything begins to shift back toward life. You don't need 1,000 friends. You need connection. Deep, consistent, meaningful connection. So don't shrink your world. Expand it. Even if it's just one conversation at a time. And yet, here's another silent thief of vitality. They sleep poorly. And accepted as normal. One of the most dangerous myths about aging is that broken sleep is just part of the deal. That after 60 or 70, you're supposed to put up with tossing and turning, light rest, and waking hours before dawn. But that belief isn't just wrong, it's harmful. Poor sleep isn't a harmless side effect of aging. It's a red flag. A signal that your internal systems, your brain, hormones, and immune defenses are struggling. And if you ignore that signal, the damage doesn't stop. It compounds, quietly, night after night. Most people don't connect sleep to long-term health. They treat it as optional, negotiable, something they fit around their comfort. But sleep isn't just rest. It's recovery. It's when the brain detoxifies, when the immune system repairs, when hormones recalibrate, when memories consolidate, when your body decides, heal or deteriorate. If you're waking up every 2 hours, relying on pills to drift off, or dragging through the morning in a fog, you're not just tired. You're aging faster. Sleep loss actually shrinks the brain. This isn't a theory. It's visible on scans. A tired brain doesn't just feel slow, it physically changes. And the areas that suffer most? The ones responsible for memory, focus, emotional control, and decision-making. You forget names. You lose patience. You become reactive, anxious, withdrawn. Not because you've changed, but because your brain hygiene is broken, and it doesn't stop at the mind. Poor sleep tears down your immune system. Just one night of bad rest lowers your body's ability to fight infection. Chronic sleep deprivation increases inflammation, the same kind linked to heart disease, Alzheimer's, arthritis, diabetes, and depression. Your joints ache. Your gut becomes sensitive. Your wounds heal slower. And the worst part? It all feels subtle, manageable, just a little tired. But inside, the damage builds. Yet despite all this, most older adults simply accept poor sleep as a part of life. They shrug it off, pop a pill, scroll through their phones, fall asleep to the TV, and they think that's rest. But that kind of sleep-broken, shallow, drug-induced isn't restorative, it's sedation. It leaves your nervous system trapped in limbo, never resetting, never fully letting go. And over time, it breaks you down in ways you can't even see. The answer isn't more sleep. It's better sleep. And better sleep doesn't happen by accident. It requires discipline. It means protecting your circadian rhythm like you would protect your health, because it is your health. That means less light at night. Your brain takes its cues from brightness. When lights stay on late, your brain thinks it's still daytime. Delaying melatonin, shrinking deep sleep. The fix? Dim the lights after sunset. Avoid screens for at least 2 hours before bed. Let your body feel the natural shift from day to night. Temperature matters too. To enter deep sleep, your core body temperature needs to drop by about 1 to 2 degrees Celsius, roughly 2 to 4 degrees Fahrenheit. A warm room blocks this process. Sleeping in a cooler environment around 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 degrees Celsius helps your body enter and stay in restorative sleep stages. If you wake up sweaty, restless, or uncomfortable, temperature might be your hidden enemy. Supplements like magnesium can help. Not sleeping pills, which often sedate without healing, but natural calming agents like magnesium glycinate or L-theanine help relax the body without knocking it out. Pair that with breath work, slow, intentional breathing before bed. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part that whispers, "You're safe. You can let go now." But above all, the most important piece is respecting your sleep. Making it a non-negotiable priority, not an afterthought. You wouldn't skip meals every day and expect to stay strong. You can't. Keep skipping deep, quality sleep, and expect your mind and body to function well. You must begin treating bedtime as sacred a time to unplug, unwind, and allow your body to heal. If sleep is a struggle, don't dismiss it. Track it. Investigate it. Get a sleep study. Rule out sleep apnea. Fix your bedroom environment. Create a wind-down ritual. Make sleep something you look forward to, not something you wrestle with. Because when you sleep well, everything improves. Your memory sharpens. Your energy rises. Your immune system strengthens. Your mood stabilizes. Your resilience returns. You don't need perfect sleep. You need intentional sleep. And no, you're not too old to fix it. You're not too far gone to improve it. Your body still wants to heal. Your brain still wants to repair. But it can't do that if you keep sabotaging your rhythm every night. Don't let poor sleep become your normal. Don't let fatigue become your baseline. Choose rest that restores you, not just sleep that gets you through the night, because the longer you sleep poorly, the shorter your life becomes. They live without purpose. This is the last one. And it's the hardest, not because it's rare, but because it's everywhere. Quiet, unspoken, invisible on the outside, but deeply felt within. It's that moment when someone stops moving towards something, when every day begins to blur into the next, when there's nothing to reach for, nothing to build, nothing to protect or grow. It's not the loss of time. It's the loss of meaning. And when meaning disappears, the body starts to fade soon after. Purpose is not a job title. It's not a role or a resume. It's not even about productivity. Purpose is a decision, a commitment to stay devoted to something that matters. It might be caring for your health, supporting someone you love, mentoring others, sharing your wisdom, learning a new skill, or simply waking each morning with the mindset, I still have something to give. It's not about being busy. It's about being needed. And when your nervous system knows you're needed, it stays engaged. But when it doesn't, it downshifts, slowly, reluctantly, but inevitably. That's the trap. Most people don't just retire from work. They retire from effort, from vision, from the challenge that once kept them sharp and alive. The clock no longer matters. The deadlines are gone. And at first that feels like freedom, but too much stillness is not peace. It's decline in disguise. The body loosens, muscles soften, posture collapses, appetite fades, sleep becomes shallow, hormones drop, brainwaves flatten, and the soul, the part of you that once burned with focus, becomes dim, not gone, just dulled. You see it in the eyes, in the way someone walks, speaks, chooses. People who once stood tall begin to hunch. Those who looked forward now only look down. Their voice softens. Their steps slow. Their world narrows. This isn't just aging. It's what happens when a person no longer feels called, when there's no reason to rise, no one counting on them, nothing new to awaken for. And here's the hardest truth of all. Without purpose, the human system starts to prepare for exit, not instantly, but gradually. The immune system weakens. Memory becomes irrelevance, so the brain lets it go. Vision blurs. The spine compresses. Blood flow slows. These aren't just side effects of time. They're the consequences of disconnecting from meaning, because the body, wise as it is, doesn't waste energy where there is no longer intention. But here's the good news. Purpose can return. At any age. For any person. It doesn't require a grand mission. You don't need a stage, or an audience, or a big idea. It begins with one question. What can I still give? That question has power. It lights a spark in the nervous system. It brings clarity back to the eyes. It brings your presence back into the room. It lifts your posture. It strengthens your heartbeat. It tells your biology, there's still something here. Keep going. Asterisk, and here's the beauty of it. Purpose can be small. Watering your garden with intention. Calling your grandson and truly listening. Mentoring a neighbor. Reading a book that stretches your thinking. Trying a new recipe. Walking not just for yourself, but to stay strong for someone else. Helping others move through their fear. You don't need a spotlight. You don't need applause. You just need responsibility, even if it's only to yourself, because the moment you take ownership, the moment you decide that life is still in session, everything begins to change. You eat better. You sleep deeper. Your thoughts get clearer. Why? Because the body follows the mind, and the mind follows purpose. When you say to yourself, "I'm not done," your cells hear you. Your brain starts to rewire. Your nervous system tunes in, you stop drifting. And you start moving forward again, maybe slowly, but deliberately. Don't let the world convince you that your best years are behind you. Don't believe the lie that retirement means releasing meaning. You don't retire from being needed. You don't retire from leading your own life. You don't retire from caring. If you woke up today, then today is yours to lead. If you're breathing, you're still being invited to participate. Don't live passively. Don't drift through time. Don't treat life like a waiting room. The clock hasn't stopped. It's still ticking. But the question is, are you still showing up? Purpose doesn't find you. You create a dot with your choices, with your attention, with your will. So choose something worth showing up for, because the moment you live without purpose, your body begins to wonder why it's still here. And the moment you live with purpose again, your body remembers. And it starts rebuilding your life from the inside out. You don't need a grand mission, but you do need a reason. Garden, a grandchild, a journal, a group, a cause. Anything that reminds you, I matter. Final wisdom? Most people don't die because they're old. They die because they've stopped participating in life. Don't wait for decline to remind you what it means to live. Live now, with movement, with fuel, with connection, with rest, and with purpose, because the finish line isn't guaranteed, but how you run your last laps, that's still in your control.